And out.
Thanks a lot, Brian. You talk about a contrast of styles. You talk about the next bout here on Showtime Championship Boxing. The puncher Alfredo Angulo versus a very slick boxer Erislandy Lara. It's coming up here at 154 pounds, and a look at Alfredo, which means the dog who is 2-0 since being released from the El Centro Detention Center in California, where the Mexico native had been held for immigration matters, coming off a 10-round unanimous decision win against Jorge Silva. Silva giving him a much tougher fight than anticipated, jumping up from 140 pounds to 154, but he feels, Al, that he is finally finding his rhythm. He finally is in the condition he needs to be at the top of his game.
Virgil Hunter, his trainer, now in his third fight with Virgil, told him it would take about a year, mentally and physically, for you to get back. This is exactly a year, so we'll see.
And his opponent, Erislandy Lara, a Cuban amateur standout. 320 wins, 10 losses, the 152-pound gold medalist at the 2005 World Championships. Went into his last fight with a fractured knuckle on his right lead hand, and that turned out to be a ninth-round technical draw against Vanes Martirosyan. A lackluster affair in November, and he definitely has his sights set on bigger fish to fry, the first being Alfredo Angulo here tonight. Let's go to the tail of the tape for this 154-pound affair.
Erislandy Lara, the supreme master technician in the ring, would like to use the height and reach advantage that he has, and he would like that to keep Angulo at bay. Lara does not like to fight on the inside. And look at the weight. Angulo, a much bigger man as we come into this fight, and he's the power puncher, so let's see how that impacts this.
So Angulo heavier, Lara has the big reach advantage. Let's go to Joe Martinez for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. Once again, we welcome you to the Home Depot Center here in Carson, California, for our next featured bout of the evening, Mexico contra Cuba. Presented by Golden Boy Promotions in association with Blue Wave Group and Showtime. And sponsored by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, and AT&T Piensa Sin Límites. This bout is presented in conjunction with the California State Athletic Commission and sanctioned by the WBA. Introducing your three judges scoring this bout at ringside, from California, Max DeLuca. From California, International Boxing Hall of Famer Marty Denkin. And from Nevada, Robert Hoyle. And when the action begins inside the ring, your referee in charge, Raul Kais Sr. And here we go, fight fans, 12 rounds scheduled. This for the vacant WBA Interim Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the colors of his homeland of Cuba, white, red, and blue. From Guantanamo, Cuba, now fighting out of Houston, Texas, USA. Weighing in officially 153 3/4 pounds. His professional record stands 17 victories, 1 defeat, 2 bouts even, and 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Rated as the #1 WBA Super Welterweight contender in the world. Please welcome El Oro de Guantanamo, Erislandy Lara. And next his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears black trimmed in silver and fights out of Los Angeles, Califas. Nacido de Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico. Weighing in officially 153 1/2 pounds. This veteran brings 22 victories, 2 defeats, and 18 knockout wins into the ring tonight. Please welcome the former WBO interim junior middleweight champion of the world, the #3 WBA Super Welterweight contender in the world. Here is Alfredo, El Perro Angulo. Once again, referee in charge of the action, Raul Kais Sr. with the final instructions.
Pásale, muchachos. Pásale. Les di las instrucciones de abajo. Acuérdense, aquí para arriba está perfectamente bien. Es por el campeonato de la Asociación Mundial de Boxeo. Espero que se comporte como esto. Buena suerte y dense la mano y buena suerte los dos.
Third man in the ring is referee Raul Caiz Sr. We are set for tonight's co-feature, a very compelling 154-pound matchup. Alfredo Angulo, known for his knockout power. Erislandy Lara, the slicker, the quicker. Many people feel definitely the more superior boxer. But the great equalizer is that one-punch knockout power. Who will be able to impose his will and skill on the other? We're about to find out as the bell goes. Round number 1 underway. Angulo with the black with silver trim trunks. Lara sporting the white, red, and blue.
I know we've set this fight up as Angulo the puncher and Lara the boxer, but we just saw a straight left hand land by Lara. He can throw that punch with authority and has already landed it twice in this fight.
And his trainer Ronnie Shields feels he can hurt Angulo with that left hand. The conventional stance fighter Angulo, the southpaw Lara.
There's actually more movement early from Lara than I even anticipated because he doesn't always move this much in the fight, even though he's so good defensively.
It might be the power, the anticipated power of Angulo that's making him a little bit more careful.
And remember, the only time that Angulo's been down in his career was against the southpaw James Kirkland, en route to the knockout loss. The last time Angulo lost.
I love the way this fight's starting, though. This is turning into a very interesting fight. Lara's willing to engage. Angulo's ripping to the body, wants to come forward. Can't be anything but fun if it keeps up like this.
And now Angulo digging away at the body with the left hook. Doubling up, tripling up on the jab upstairs. Lara just absorbing all the shots with his guard. There's a straight left hand down the middle by Lara. Flashes the jab and moves away. You talk about the sweet science, you talk about a guy like Erislandy Lara, one of the most technically proficient fighters in the game, Paulie.
Yeah, and a former Cuban amateur standout, comes from that Cuban amateur school, so, you know, those guys always technically sounded.
Stiff straight left by Lara.
That's the fourth one that Lara has landed that is solid in this first round.
11 of Lara's 17 wins have come via form of knockout. Of course, Angulo known for the KO power. 18 of his 22 victories have come inside the distance. And there, Lara hurting Angulo with the straight left hand.
Part of the game plan Virgil Hunter told us yesterday for Angulo was to hit Lara everywhere. Doesn't matter, don't aim for any particular spot. We get close and hit him. And Lara's starting to get his rhythm here.
He's had a monster first round.
The 100th professional round of Angulo's career, the 99th round as a pro for Lara. And a great start by the Cuban with 30 seconds remaining in the opening round.
And really good coming back because early on, Angulo was really stifling him and really getting in his face and trying to really beat him up to the body. But Lara stayed calm and started landing those sharp shots.
Uppercut by Lara, then he just shells up again. Angulo trying to get through the guard with the jab. Final 10 seconds of a pretty good opening round here, especially if you're the Cuban Erislandy Lara. Marking his territory, Angulo walking him down, but it's Lara coming forward with a couple of straight left hands. That's been the story thus far.
We talk about the left hand. Lara landed so many in the first round. Uses the jab as a rangefinder and blasts away with that left hand. Let's look at the keys to victory. Angulo has to push Lara to the ropes. He did do that in the first round, but had a hard time landing. The uppercut, I think, could be a big weapon for him. And the double left hook, we saw a little bit of that in round one. He's going to have to unload that punch more. As for Lara, he really did exactly what he's supposed to do. He used the angles. He did tie up Lara on the inside whenever he got there or covered up. And left hand, oh yeah, we saw a lot of those.
Lara's never been down as an amateur or a pro.
The last three opponents against Lara have landed, in fact, the last 5 opponents have landed 20% of their punches or less. So his defensive skills are considerable.
Angulo immediately attacking the body, digging away with the left hooks. But Lara just keeping that peekaboo guard, taking a lot of those shots, although Angulo was able to dig underneath, and Lara again measuring him up for that straight left hand. Here are the show stats for the first round punch totals.
You see what Lara, he lands at a high percentage and landing at 50%, which is a lot better, as we see, than 7%. And Angulo, it traditionally throws a lot more punches. He averaged 80 punches a round in his last fight, so he throws a lot of punches, but when they're not landing, that's not going to help you too much.
Angulo known for his pressure style, come forward, and there he was able to sneak the right hand through the guard, but Angulo just absorbing the majority of these shots, catching these shots on his arms there, Paulie.
Well, even when he catches the shots, he's punching in between Angulo. You see, he kind of starts covering up, and then he'll come up with some short counter shots. Very crafty, Erislandy Lara.
So far in this fight, Angulo is pushing his punches. We haven't seen him set down and throw the kind of power punches that we're accustomed to.
Well, here's the thing, Al. It's hard to get confidence to throw so hard when you know that counter-punching ability of your opponent is so sharp. You almost start to doubt it, and what happens is the snap comes off your shots without you realizing.
And Lara already marking up the face of Alfredo, utilizing his footwork very effectively here in round 2.
It's almost like you're looking to throw punches, but at the same time, you want to bring your hand right back to defend.
Uppercut by Angulo, couple of left hooks to the body. And Al, to your point, doesn't really appear that he's hurting Lara with a lot of these punches because of the fact he's pushing them.
Yeah, he's not throwing them with great commitment. Now, he did start to unload.
There's a nice straight left through the guard by Lara again.
Even those left hooks to the body, they're good. You're supposed to throw those, but he's not getting leverage on those, Angulo, as much as he'd like.
Final minute of the second round. Great start to this 154-pound co-feature between Erislandy Lara, the southpaw, and the hard-hitting Alfredo Angulo. Front face lock there by Lara as Raul Caiz Jr. intercedes.
We've seen in other fights where Angulo switches to lefty, and he's done it in this fight several times, but not with great purpose or intent.
Blood already on the bridge of the nose of Alfredo Angulo. Now Angulo has Lara on the ropes. Right hand behind the guard, 10 seconds left. So a great start here between Angulo and Lara, and two great trainers in their respective corners. Virgil Hunter in Angulo's, Ronnie Shields in Lara's.
All you gotta do is breathe. He's slowing down, huh? Keep breathing. You're gonna be ugly when it's over, but we're gonna be winning, baby. Hey, you're gonna have some bruises, but we're gonna win this fight. You see how he's slowing down? You keep hitting him in that liver and that kidney. He gonna slow down, Alfredo. He keep giving you that. He's slowing down already. His punches is gonna get weaker and weaker. Yep. Way to go. You're not even breathing. Breathe. Good job.
The guy, his feet is all over the place. He off balance. Come on. Tao that. I got it. Come on.
Come el cuerpo también. Cada cual nunca me el cuerpo, ¿viste? Ahorita ya está.
Bell in round 3.
Good observations by both corners. I like what Virgil Hunter was saying about Lara slowing down in the second half of that round. I noticed it as well. We'll see if he picks up the pace in this first half of this round, or if Angulo can continue to break him down. While on the other end, Ronnie Shields made a good point too. Angulo's feet are all over the place.
Lara working behind the jab, keeping Angulo at distance, so even though he's along the ropes, utilizing that nifty footwork, left hand to the body.
The only lefty that Angulo's fought in recent years was James Kirkland, and of course he had issues with him. And this is the ultimate lefty to fight. This is like the lefty on, that ain't Cleveland.
I'd say Kirkland was a bit more hittable than Lara.
Yeah, just a smidge.
Angulo continues to work the body. Lara content to stay along the ropes, now circles away. Straight left again, pops Angulo on the nose. Angulo rips the left hook to the body. And now Angulo coming forward, but a nice counter jab there by Lara.
There's a difference in those left hooks to the body now. Angulo is getting much more leverage on him, throwing them with much better intent.
He's believing in them. He's believing in them because Virgil Hunter, the instructions he gave him, has him believing in the game plan.
I couldn't agree with you more. That was part pep talk and part reinforcing, guess what? This is going to be a tough fight.
And Angulo beginning to find his rhythm now, coming forward. As Lara utilizing his footwork, trying to escape again, ripping the left hook to the body and a left uppercut as well. And now Lara fighting off the ropes.
And you know, Angulo, we talked about in the keys about getting him to the ropes. He has gotten Lara to the ropes in the last round and a half.
Oh, another left hand to the body, another left hook and a right hand to the body by Angulo. So a good round for Angulo in the final minute of the third.
Now Lara's counterpunches are still there, but now they're fewer and far between. So it's Angulo's rough work that's taking the toll.
The Bull versus the Matador, and thus far the Bull getting the best of him here in the third round.
You see the good shot by Lara, but it's just not consistent enough anymore.
30 seconds left in what has been an entertaining third frame. There's a nice straight left right to the sternum by Lara. And you know, the book on Lara, and Al, you can speak to this, is that he hasn't always looked comfortable on the inside, and that's an area that Angulo would like to exploit.
Yeah, he hasn't, but when he gets distance, he's punching well.
But here at close quarters, Angulo getting the best of him in the final 5 seconds of a thrilling third round here at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California.
Here's where Angulo was able to push him against ropes. Good leverage on those left hooks. He's ripping those shots and mixing in some of the uppercuts and other punches. Now, yes, Lara is counterpunching pretty well off the ropes, and he did do that in some instances. But Angulo was able to get some work done by ripping shots to that body and occasionally getting those right hands in as well.
And our Spanish announcers, of course, providing the Spanish commentary, Alejandro Luna and former champion Raul Marquez, describing the action in Espanol. You can use your SAP button to hear what they're saying.
Our great colleagues who do such a terrific job.
So despite being battered and bruised, both fighters showing the vestiges of what has been a tough tussle thus far. Round 4 underway. And you notice on the back of Angulo's trunks, immigration reform now. Someone who can speak very highly. A traumatic experience that he went through.
Yeah, many believe he was inappropriately detained and held for 7 months, and it was a brutal situation.
And on the front of his trunks, of course, on his belt line, his daughter's name, Rebecca. The young lady he lives for, spends half the time of camp in Los Angeles with her, with Virgil Hunter coming down, and then he goes to Hunter's training camp as well, as we take a look at the unofficial scoring through 3 rounds.
I'm curious to see how we have it. And by golly, we're in agreement, 29-28. I'm guessing we all saw the third round for Angulo.
And battering away at the body is Angulo. Lara stuck on the ropes. And now Angulo known to switch stances here and there, going to the southpaw. And you're not a bigger fan of that, are you?
Well, he's done it a lot, but I don't think he does it with great intent, and I don't think it helps him in this fight.
I think what he's doing is he's trying to create space for that left hand to the body, because against a southpaw, you're bumping lead shoulders. It's hard to get in the hook to the body sometimes from the inside, because he can bump you. He can kind of use his lead shoulder to bump you off.
But as a righty, he's getting leverage on it.
And Lara goes down for the first time in his career.
Those body shots set that up, guys.
And Angulo, the dog swarming Lara here in the 4th round. A minute and a half left. Popping the jab from the southpaw position. And now switches back to orthodox. And Lara trying to stave off the attack the best he can. The crowd here on fuego, firmly behind the adopted California resident. Uppercut by Lara. And the chants of Pero fill the skies here over the Home Depot Center. Under a minute left. Angulo has been cut under the right eye.
He's had problems with cuts before in fights, and right now he doesn't want that to emerge, but what a huge round for him.
Uppercut just misses by Angulo.
All those body shots Angulo throws, it kind of had Lara thinking body, and then he came up with a booming hook to the head. Kind of caught Lara off guard, surprised him a bit.
And through all this, Lara's still counter-punching back. That's what making this such a fun fight.
10 seconds left in a fantastic fourth round of action. Lara going down for the first time in his career, but continues to counterattack. Round 5 straight ahead.
Listen. Listen. Hey. Hey.
For the first time in his career, Erislandy Lara goes to the canvas. Angulo had been working hard to the body, and then the left hook over the top. And of course, that's Angulo's best punch. We saw in many other fights him create knockdowns. In fact, it really is almost a double left hook because he landed to the body, and that helped set up that left hook that set Lara down. Props to Erislandy Lara for getting up from that punch and for being able to continue.
Now, got caught while he's throwing that left-hand uppercut. It was working so well for him. And props to Angulo for making the adjustment. He kept getting caught with it.
Angulo returned from detention, landed a lethal left hook against Raul Caceres, knocking him out in just 56 seconds. And in the last round, he knocked down Lara for the first time in his career with another devastating left hook. And round 5 underway. Mauro Ranallo, Al Bernstein, Paulie Malignaggi, Brian Kenny, Jim Gray, the rest of our Showtime sports crew bringing you the action.
Angulo sparred with Demetrius Andrade, a very good 154-pounder, and he thought that got him prepared for this fight, and apparently it did.
Taking a look at the power punches in round 4.
Angulo with the edge, but you see Lara did land his share of counter punches, but still that knockdown, of course, created a 10-8 round, and the fact that Angulo landed so many big shots to both the body and the head.
Angulo utilizing the jab. Lara trying to utilize the footwork, but the more Angulo works to the body, Paulie, the more he's going to slow down Lara's footwork.
Well, that's the whole plan. That's the whole plan behind the attack to the body, is to slow Lara down enough to make him stand still. If you can make him stand still long enough, you can land shots like the one he landed last round that scored the knockdown.
Jab by Lara.
Lara started this round well, though, pot-shotting and sharpshooting.
Unofficial scores.
Clearly that turned things around, a 10-8 round on all our scorecards, and we all have it, a 1-point edge at this point for Angulo.
3-punch combination by Lara, culminating with a nice right hook.
So far, a nice comeback round for Lara. But again, he's languishing on the ropes and squaring himself up on the ropes.
Shoulder bump by Lara, the jab. Angulo misses with the right hand. Heading into the final minute of the 5th frame. Lara utilizing the footwork, circling away from the ropes, but nice combination by the Cuban.
You know, not everybody gets up from a left hook like that from Alfredo Angulo, so props to Erislandy Lara for that.
And down for the first time in his career,
Yeah.
but can you blame him? He took such a flush left hook.
And has showed amazing poise since that moment.
Yeah, he's having a great round.
Yep. Edward Jackson worked with him as a strength and conditioning coach, who ironically works with Andre Ward, of Virgil Hunter's other major fighter, of course. And so Jackson's helped him probably.
Good combination by
Nice
Lara.
combination by Lara. Stung Angulo, but Angulo comes right back along the ropes. A terrific fight here between Lara and Angulo. And coming up immediately after this entertaining affair, Andre Berto, who will face Jesus Soto Caras July 27th here on Showtime, will be speaking to our own Brian Kenny. We'll hear from him, his thoughts on tonight's fights, and of course, his big matchup with Soto Caras later this summer.
In a very big comeback round for Erislandy Lara after getting knocked down, he threw some excellent combinations, and this was toward the end of the round where Angulo was trying to pressure him, but Lara landed some excellent combinations in the round.
You do it. Nothing's going to stop you. He's getting tired of time. Do his punches have anything on it? Then take it from him.
An electric atmosphere here at the Home Depot Center. They're even doing the wave. I thought that had been banned by society.
You can still do it, I think. I think it's legal.
6th round underway. And an impressive bounce-back round for Lara, and really so much at stake in this fight, Al. Or Paulie, with the 154-pound weight class, as hot as it is these days, we know what's out there. There's Miguel Cotto, Austin Trout, even the winner, Canelo Alvarez, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, and the winner of this bout puts himself in a good position to get one of those fighters, one of those big money fights, and deservedly so.
And they going to the body. Look at Alfred Angulo landing 40 to only 2 for Lara. And of course, much of Angulo's attack has been downstairs. And he got away from throwing really good left hooks, but now look at him ripping those hooks to the body of Lara.
Jab by Lara, straight left hand, a lead straight left hand by the Cuban. There's the jab again. Angulo trying to find the distance, trying to keep Lara along the ropes. Catches that punch.
I almost feel like Lara's been sharper, if you can say that, since he got knocked down. Almost, you know, he was having a good couple of first rounds, but he's been just a little sharper with his defense and his offense and his movement.
Angulo missed with a couple of left hooks, but then caught him on the body with a left to the body. And let's take a look at the unofficial scores. Dead even.
I think you can almost make the perfect case, Steve Farhood, for this being a draw at this point.
No doubt, Al, and I think it's actually been a very easy fight to score round by round. Yep. This round might be the most competitive so far.
I agree.
The jab key in this round for Lara. Angulo misses with the wild left.
When Lara keeps his fight in the center of the ring, he almost can't lose it. But when he goes to the ropes, he's got issues.
You see Angulo waving him on with his hand, saying, come on and fight. But Lara will try to continue to pick his spots.
It's amazing what each does very well. They've actually been able to execute very well.
Precisely.
2 well-prepared fighters tonight.
Contrast of styles, but the ingredients put together thus far has been a very tasty recipe with 20 seconds left in the 6th. At close quarters, Angulo launches the right. Lara backing up and delivers the nice 1-2 combination. Leads with the straight left, followed up with a right hook. We are at the midway point of this 154-pound affair.
And turning that left hook to the body and the head. You can do it. Alfredo, you can do it. Okay? It's called determination. There's no big rocket science thing. He's exhausted. He's only getting a clean shot. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Yeah, we're good. He's getting it all day long. Score to get out. Score and get out. That's it. I got it, baby.
Home Depot Center in Carson, California. My first time here, and I already can tell you my favorite venue for boxing. An amazing crowd, an amazing atmosphere, and amazing Southern California weather, Al.
Yeah, it's a great setting. We've been here for many great matches. You referenced third Marquez-Vasquez fight. That was a special night, and tonight's starting to turn into one with this excellent match.
And a record crowd in attendance for this triple header on Showtime. Thus far in round 7, Lara able to land some clean combinations, Paulie.
Yeah, he's been. I like the way he came back after the knockdown. He showed a lot of poise. To get knocked down the way he was certainly hurt. But he's come back and shown poise and maturity here.
Now picking Angulo off with the jab. Angulo trying to find his way in. Good defense there as Lara ducked underneath the lead left hook.
16 of the 18 KOs Angulo has had have come within the first 5 rounds. So history's against him winning by knockout at this point, even though he had Lara down, but we'll see.
He's added a little bit of that jab right hook to get him out of danger. Has been just an addition since the knockdown that has allowed him to vary a little bit more to his offense and his defense.
For Lara.
Yeah, for Lara.
After winning the first 2 rounds and blooding Angulo's face, Lara was knocked to the canvas a minute 15 into round 4, the first knockdown of his career, but has bounced back very nicely, and we are in a war here of attrition. Angulo on the attack.
4 beautiful left hooks to the body by Angulo, delivered with authority. That's what was missing in the last round or 2.
And as part of his comeback since being down on the canvas for the first time, Lara exhibiting good ring generalship, but Angulo continues to be in his face.
And Lara gets on the ropes, and he's not looking to stay there anymore. He gets up there, he's covering up. He's not trading much. He throws a punch, covers up, or throws a punch and gets out.
Which is the appropriate strategy for him.
Right.
Absolutely.
Almost seems like Lara's willing to let Angulo empty his arsenal and then either pivot away, circle away, or launch an attack of his own.
Well, in a way, I think the first 2 rounds made him a bit overconfident, you know, and that's what made him get caught in that 3rd round.
Has the fight exceeded your expectations in any way thus far, Paulie?
You know, I could have seen this happening, but I can't say I would have guaranteed it. You know, I wasn't sure how Angulo would deal with the movement and the boxing ability of Lara. He's dealt with it very well, and he's making Lara work very hard for every round. And it's interesting because late in the fight, we'll see just how much energy Lara has left.
Well, those body punches could have an impact as this fight goes on.
15 seconds left in the 7th round.
Funny because Virgil Hunter said at the end of the 2nd round or the end of the 1st round, he's getting tired. It's almost like Lara got rejuvenated just by getting knocked down.
Straight right by Angulo. Good exchange at the bell.
Now, this was a round that Lara won, but the reason we're going to show you these body shots is to kind of do some foreshadowing about what happened. 4 terrific body shots. Will this pay dividends later for Angulo because he's landed so many of these? He gets in position, throws with, I think, a lot of authority. He throwing really excellent left hooks downstairs. I mean, he just keeps banging away with that punch. And a couple actually stray a little bit low, but he's committed to that punch, and we'll see if that has an impact on the movement and everything else of Lara as this fight goes on.
Wow, what an edge.
Yeah, just a smidge.
You in this fight. You in it. Don't let him off the hook no more.
Angulo battering Lara's body, but Lara utilizing his technique, his footwork, the jab, and there it is, launching the straight left hand to kick off round number 8.
Lara landed 33 punches to only 14 by Angulo, according to show stats. And, you know, Lara is being forced to throw more punches than he normally does. He threw 64 punches in that last round. And look at those nice counter punches.
And the counter lefts are again beginning to find their target. Sorry, Paulie.
No, that's a good point I was making. You know, Angulo finds himself always in front of Lara, and Lara finds this guy always in front of him. The only way you can get away is if you got to keep punching. You can't just keep running. So it's forcing the output to be higher for Lara. And again, between that and the body shots, it'll be interesting to see how much energy Lara has left late.
Angulo just right in front of Lara, absorbing the punishment, but dishing it out as well. And really, he has looked the best we've seen. Of course, 56 seconds was all it took for him to win his first fight in a year. And then in his last fight, maybe a tougher test than anticipated against the smaller Jorge Silva. But in this fight, Lara and Angulo putting on an amazing display thus far. 1:40 remaining in the round.
You know what we haven't seen in this fight? There have been clashes of heads in a number of Lara fights. He was even penalized against Hernandez for headbutting, and of course there was a clash of heads in his last fight that caused the stir. We have none of that in this fight.
Yeah, you see a lot of it with the conventional versus the southpaw fighter, but you're absolutely right, Alan. Rather surprising considering Angulo's style.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've been inside at great length.
You know, a lot of times those head clashes happen when both guys look to punch at the same time, and a righty-lefty, their heads get close. I don't know if Lara's looking to punch any time Angulo's looking to punch. He's trying to get out and
Lara getting busy with the right hooks now. 1 minute remaining in the round. There's a left hook by Angulo now at close quarters. Some short uppercuts. Lara's hands are down, getting busy. Nice left hand, but Angulo counters with a combination of his own to the body and then upstairs.
And we're finally seeing the uppercut emerge for Angulo, and it's making this a much closer round.
Right hand by Angulo connects. Lara content to be on the ropes and just kind of baiting Angulo in, it seems. Left hand to the body. Nice combination right down the middle by Lara. Angulo leaning in now.
So I like what Angulo is doing. Anytime Lara stands still, he just moves his hands. Hits him anywhere he can hit him.
Well, this has been a fantastic fight thus far, and yet it's just the appetizer. The main course is coming up later tonight, and we are anticipating nothing but a brawl, a war, a action-packed affair between Marcos Maidana, who has one of the highest KO rates in the sport. The highest in the top 20, the welterweight division, although most of that came at 140. And there's the relaxed Josecito Lopez. He put himself on the boxing map in 2012 and now wants to make the most of it in 2013. Rolando Perez, he can't wait for Maidana versus Lopez. He, like many others, anticipates a great fight. That's still to come tonight. Maidana versus Lopez in the main event. And a look at this amazing atmosphere here. Outdoors, Carson, California, Home Depot Center, record crowd in attendance. And Angulo and Lara laying it all on the line as we head into the 9th round. Lara in the white, red, and blue. Angulo in the black with silver. Conditioning thus far doesn't really seem to be much of a factor for Angulo, considering the punch output out.
Well, he's taken a lot of punishment. He normally throws lots of punches, and he's continuing as this fight goes on. But Lara has been the more accurate puncher in the last few rounds. The question is, can Angulo slow him down?
Well, let's see what the unofficial scores show us.
And a very, very close fight on Steve Farhood's scorecard. Well, Paulie and I have it a little bit wider. Steve, why so?
This is going to be decided out in the last 3-4 rounds. It's really a matter of a will at this point, and this is why some fighters train as hard as they do. Lara needs the legs, Angulo needs the energy to keep throwing the punches. It's really a fascinating matchup, and remains so.
Well stated.
Left hand downstairs, uppercut. So Angulo throwing a bunch of punches in that combination, but it's Lara again just picking them off with a nice straight 1-2. Oh, and the left hook drops Lara for the second time in the fight. His calling card, the left hook. Angulo, despite Lara's technical edge, that's the great equalizer, Paulie.
And part of that was the fatigue. He hadn't moved as much this round. He hadn't gotten off as many punches this round. Angulo was able to find him, and he's still hurt.
digging away at the bodies. Angulo now going upstairs. Scoring on the body. Lara trying to just stave off this attack. The onslaught in the final minute of the ninth. Lara doing his best to try to regain his faculties, but Angulo not giving him any space. Stationary on the ropes is a bad place for Lara to be.
He doesn't have the legs to keep moving the way he wants to, though.
What a remarkable second part of this round for Lara, though, not going down again.
And he comes back with a right hook and a straight right from Angulo. A fantastic round 9.
What a fight, guys. What a fight.
Well, it happened earlier in the fight, and it happened again. As Erislandy Lara moved to his left, or his right, excuse me, he got nailed with the left hook by Angulo. And good for Angulo for not throwing another punch when he was down. We'll take another look at it. The right hand is low.
Came up with his chin up.
And Angulo throws with great conviction. When you get hit with a left hook by Alfredo Angulo, you are going to feel it.
Had his chin up in the air as he came out.
Chin goes up, he goes down.
And astonishingly, there was a minute and a half left in this round when that happened. Lara not only got through the round, actually did some good work. Although certainly it's a 10-8 round for Angulo.
I loved our Showtime colleague Barry Tompkins' reaction to the knockdown. He's enjoying the action as well. He and Steve Hart doing a great job on Show Extreme. And here we are, round 10. Alfredo Angulo. Erislandy Lara.
And a great job on Showbox, which had some great fights last night. Can Lara do what he did the last time he got knocked down? Have a comeback round.
Much more difficult at this stage in the fight now. Fatigue definitely sets in.
Yep.
Let's see.
Straight left hand lands by Lara. Angulo just continuing to impose his will and power. And with the second knockdown, let's take a look at the unofficial scoring through 9 rounds.
That clearly a 10-8 round, and on Steve's scorecard, of course, it has Angulo now ahead. We have it very close, Paulie and I. So this fight's up for grabs.
And Lara,
I think we can say that.
Again, bouncing back here in round 10, putting together some combinations, using some head movements. So despite being down again, Paulie, he rebounds nicely.
And I'll tell you what's impressive about Lara. Despite getting hit with 2 thunderous hooks this fight that have dropped him, he still is very comfortable making Angulo miss by just an inch or so, or even less.
Wow. That's a very
the fact that you can stay calm when that firepower is coming your way, even despite when you've been knocked down, you know, it's very impressive, and it shows the maturity of this guy and the experience. Because he had probably a million amateur fights in Cuba.
He has to be careful, though. His mouth is wide open, and you can ask Victor Ortiz what that can lead to against Josecito Lopez. Total power punches.
And you see Lara's landed more than his share, but the 2 important ones are those hooks.
And now Lara may have hurt Angulo with that combination, and Angulo's hurt, and he's stopping the fight. Wow! Unbelievable!
What happened? He just turned his back.
You talk about the ebb and flow of boxing, and just like that, this fight is over.
Wow.
All right, give me a towel.
Massive hematoma.
All right, look at me. I want you to look at me. Now look up. Look out. Look to your
That
right.
came out of nowhere, that left eye. Wow.
And when he turned his back on the action, the referee had to step in.
Look right at me, you all right? You with me now? All right. It's puffing up. I just want to keep it
Now, Virgil Hunter is indicating that his fighter was thumbed. Let's revisit the action.
That was bad, though.
Well, Lara threw, Lara was just throwing a punch, so whatever happened, it created this terrible situation to the eye. Now, there's just this couple of straight left hands. Still have...
Might have been the first one.
The first one, I think, is the one that did it.
Yeah, because they kind of grazed him.
And, you know, the point is, those were just punches by Lara. So whatever caused that, here comes the left hand. I mean, that's just a beautiful straight left hand.
Yeah, it's the kind of left hand he's been throwing all night, Al.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't
Just
do anything
the thumb
different.
might have caught him.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible, but clearly that's not Erislandy Lara's fault. And what a dramatic turn of events.
Despite being on the deck for the first 2 times in his career, Erislandy Lara comes back and records an impressive win. As Jim Gray has got a report on what's happened. Let's go to Jim Gray in the ring.
Mo, I just spoke to Raul Caiz, the referee here in the ring. He said he believes that he got caught and he fractured his orbital bone, but when he turned his back, he said that was it.
Right.
When he turned it back and was not willing and ready to fight and did not go down, he said he had no choice. He had to stop the fight. Mo?
And looking at that eye, I mean, how could he not stop the fight? I don't know if he would be able to even continue. Paulie, a nasty injury. And here with the official decision following a terrific battle, let's go to Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 50 seconds, round number 10. Referee Raul Caiz Sr. calls a halt to the contest due to an injury sustained by Angulo. Therefore, we declare your winner by TKO victory. And now the WBA interim super welterweight champion of the world, El Oro de Guantánamo, Erislandy Lara.
Evidence that Lara can throw a pretty powerful punch as well as he injures the left eye of Alfredo Angulo, improves to 18-1-2 Al with his 12th win via form of KO.
We talked about it earlier in the fight. There was the very real possibility that one of those left hands would do that kind of damage, and it took a while in the fight, but it did.
Jim Gray standing by with the winner.
All right, Mo, thank you very much. Felix De Jesus will translate. What happened from your perspective that caused this fight to be stopped?
De tu perspectiva, ¿qué pasó para parar esta pelea?
Bueno, primeramente, le doy gracias a Dios y a América por darme la oportunidad de esta gran pelea con Alfredo Angulo. Creo que Angulo es un gran boxeador, ya lo demostró, me conectó de golpe, me llevó al piso, pero bueno, sube reponerme y concentrarme bien. Y pude terminar la pelea con un gran golpe.
First of all, I want to thank God and thank America for this great fight. Angulo is a great fighter. He did throw me down twice in both rounds, and there's nothing to take away from Angulo. He was just waiting to win this fight.
What happened? What did he think caused this fight to be stopped?
¿Por qué tú crees que se paró la pelea? ¿Qué fue lo que pasó?
Bueno, yo estaba dando también los golpes míos bien efectivos. Estaba trabajando un solo golpe, pero yo supe preparar bien mi condición y bien mi ataque. Con la preparación mía de mi equipo y de mis promotores y mi manager, subimos salir adelante en esta pelea.
Because of his promoter, his manager, and his physical training, that's why he came ahead in this fight. And he was also throwing punches, so it was a good fight.
Referee told me that he felt that possibly he has a broken orbital bone, and when he turned his back, he could not continue with the fight. Did you expect that he would be able to continue?
¿Tú pensabas que él iba a seguir con esta pelea después que viró su cara y el referee paró la pelea?
No creía porque él estaba ya, los golpes ya casi ya no tenían potencia, él había fallado muchos golpes también. Empezó muy fuerte el primer round y yo supe.
He thinks that he started very tough in the first round and that his punches were losing force, and that's why he knew that he had him at that point of time.
Let's take a look at the monitor right here. Virgil Hunter, the trainer, claims that you thumbed his fighter. Did you? Let's take a look at it. This is what he is saying right there. That was what caused the fight to be stopped.
El dedo pulgar entró en el ojo y le rompió el ojo. There I'm seeing the repetition and it wasn't. I didn't hit him in the orbital.
And they are thumbless gloves. Did you feel as though you are or were winning the fight at this time, even though you'd been knocked down for 2 times, the first 2 times in your career?
¿Tú pensabas que todavía estaba ganando la pelea aunque te tumbaron 2 veces?
Había ganado todos los rounds. solamente me ha ganado los rounds que me llevó a la lona. Pero bueno, eso no es una pelea de 12 rounds.
Yes, he feels that he was still winning the fight. The only 2 rounds was when he hit the floor.
A rematch? Will you give him a rematch based on this circumstance?
¿Le da una revancha a Angulo?
Primeramente quiero decirle al hoyo a Jaime y bueno, si no hay problema, si él quiere la revancha, estamos ready, estamos aquí preparados, ya soy campeón del mundo y ahora mismo quiero coger mi descanso y después veremos.
First of all, he wants to say hi to Al Heyman.
Does he want a rematch?
And he said that he will definitely give him a rematch if Al Heyman wants it.
Very good. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, Mo, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Jim. So dramatic turn of events here in Carson, California. And Al, let's take a look at the scores, the official scores at the time of the stoppage.
And this demonstrates very much what we said during the course of the fight, that this was a very, very close fight. Those 2 knockdowns had a big impact, and 2 of the judges had it for Lara, 1 for Angulo. And our unofficial scoring, as we take a look at it, demonstrates that as well. Steve Farhood had it for Angulo, and Paulie and I for Lara.
Paulie, barring a rematch, Lara stated that he would want to fight Miguel Cotto after this fight. You think Cotto wants any part of Lara after this?
Well, you know, it's up in the air. You know, we'll see where Cotto's going in the direction of his career. I'd love to see a rematch first.
I would too. Let's go to Brian Kenny.